Episode 3. We're live. We are live. Last week was fun. Highlighting, some of the top anglers in the club through the first, what was it, five or six stops, Carl?
The first six events.
Okay. Yeah, that's right, because I think stop six, one of the two of us was the winner. And it wasn't me. So yeah, congrats to you again for, just honestly dominating the Upper Bay that week. That looked like a clinic. Uh,
I don't know if it was a clinic, but I just ran into some fish and I happened to catch them. They wouldn't get off my hook.
Steph
That's all I
Curry
can
just
say.
happens to make all of the shots that he shoots from behind the arc.
Hey man, you can't catch fish if you don't fish around. So I
That's
fished
true.
around,
And you
and we
found
all
out.
knows what happened.
Oh yeah, that's got to be our next T-shirt. Fish around and find out. But
Yeah.
hey,
If you haven't already and you're out there and you're watching us, man, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's get our subscribers up. All 10
oh
of them.
yeah,
How many subscribers we got so far? 10,
nah, we are
5,
we are
6,
at 27. 20.
27.
That's what I'm seeing.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
hold
eight.
on. You talking about on Facebook or on YouTube? We're on YouTube.
No, no, just on YouTube.
Oh
The
yeah,
YouTube
we're
channel.
we're we're 3 away from 30.
Are we live on YouTube too?
We are live on YouTube right now,
All right. Cool.
and we are
Cool.
3 subscribers away from a 30 piece.
30.
Yes, sir.
30 burger.
I know that's right. White Castle. Um, but
Catching with
yes, catching with Kyle. I don't know if there can be like a consistent angler of the year award, but I think it goes without question that Kyle gets that.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
If we had a rookie of the year award, he would be the rookie of the year. Him along with no, it would be close because Jesse is a rookie too, right? Technically, he's
yes,
a rookie. The only
but
rookie in the top three, I mean, the only one that wasn't a rookie in the top three was Josh.
yeah, I don't know if Kyle had bass boat experience though. Like when it comes to tournament fishing in general, I think this was Kyle's first year. I could be wrong. Correct
He's
me if I'm wrong,
introduced.
Kyle. But
I
yeah,
mean,
you
if you're coming from bass boat fishing, coming over to kayaking, that's still a learning curve. Like you're not gonna. It's
that's
not the
true.
same. It's not the
Yeah,
same.
because even Charlie was saying, setting Kyle's never been on a bass boat in his life. Hey,
Wow.
yeah. Well, there you go. So Charlie was saying though, even setting the hook and the type of rods that he prefers to use in his kayak as opposed to when he's in his boat, to him it's a completely different experience. So um, I agree with you 100%. That transition is not it's not seamless.
Yeah, it's Mike Iconelli. He fishes kayak tournaments and he's a professional bass fisherman. And
Hmm.
he came over and started fishing some kayak events. And he said the same thing. There's definitely a learning curve when it
Hmm.
comes to just casting, just learning the angles to cast when you're sitting down. You're using different muscles. And then the leverage on the hook set is totally
Yeah.
different as
Well,
opposed to standing on a bass boat and having all that leverage to really set the
yeah.
hook.
Weren't you saying that's why you went new canoe? Because you can fish it more similarly to a bass boat because you prefer to stand and fish out of your kayak?
I do. I love the open deck.
Mhm.
Um, that was the part that appealed to me the most because it reminded me of being on a bass boat. It's the closest thing. I mean, there's some other ones that just came out this year that are pretty close to it. I know Trey Leach has a pretty good platform. The Osprey, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Um, I think your company,
I'm
Native,
a
came out with that mammoth
uh,
kayak with the deck on the front.
bona fide, the
Is that bona
XTR.
fide?
I don't know the numbers. It's the XTR something,
Yeah,
but you can even put another seat on it. It's ridiculous.
I think I'm kind of like I might have to try that one out, man. Seriously,
That I think
yeah,
that's
that one.
trailer mandatory.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool with me.
Yeah,
I'll
I
put it on
mean,
the trailer.
I'm in the Bonafide Facebook group, and there was a gentleman who posted a video in one with the new XTR,
Yeah,
and he literally walked out on the bow, and it
that's
did
what I'm
not.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a totally different. It's just like fishing off a bass boat. That's the only way I can describe it. I mean, if you have a pedal kayak, you got the pedals right there in
Yeah.
the middle, so it's hard to stand up
Hmm.
and get the kind of you don't have the same type of room. You can't move around the same. On
Yeah.
the new canoe, I can do 360s. I can spin all the way around. I can stand up and spin all the way around. I can cast to the back of the boat, turn around, cast to the front, turn out the side, cast to the side. The other thing about that boat that is really nice is that the seat is a swivel. So
Hmm.
you can turn your seat all the way around to the side and just put the spot lock on and just work
Yeah.
the bank. I mean, it's really cool. I mean, I rarely turn my seat and fish that way. I prefer to stand up
Hmm.
and just set the heading on the Motor Guide XI3 and just
Okay.
let that baby just cruise down the bank, and then I can just cast, 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 cast.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to fish. The other kayak I had, the Bass Johnny Boat Bass 100.
Hmm.
It wasn't a tournament style kayak, and when I first got it, I didn't know anything about tournament fishing, so I didn't know what to look for. I just
Gotcha.
know I wanted something stable, and it was pretty stable from all the reports I got. When I got it, it was stable.
Yeah.
But when you get out here and you start fishing against the likes of Josh and everybody else, you
Man,
quickly see the limitations.
I will never forget. It was the first tournament of the year. I don't know what type of torpedo Josh is running or how his boat is trimmed out, but the way he left the boat ramp looked like something out of Fast and Furious. I mean, he hit the throttle, turned left. He has a rooster tail, okay? Like it's motocross, spraying behind him. And I look right because someone called me. I look left and he's gone. I mean, Josh is moving out there with that torpedo, but Kyle is saying that if you get a Titan X, we will feel differently about pedal kayak. So it sounds like maybe I need to do a demo day, you know?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a kayak that had the pedal system in it. I know the new canoe, you can get that added on as one of the features, but I
Okay.
never thought about it. I just got the XI3 and never looked back.
Yeah, yeah. But before we get too deep, we got to acknowledge our sponsors. And I think we should start off with Old Line Baits this week. Old Line Baits,
Justin,
uh, Elite Soft Plastics, um, phenomenal, as Carl can attest to, Chatterbait Trailers.
you want to run
Uh,
the video? Cue the video with Justin. I think he was catching some with his baits
we might as well
up on the upper bay.
add it to the
All
stage.
right, this man right here just broke his rod. He was complaining. I pulled up to the ramp. He was complaining about not catching him. He was about to go home. I sprinkled some magic dust on him, and this guy's got two off the bat. And he broke a rod, though. That was the price he had to pay. But he's back in the game. Way to go, Justin.
That was a
That's the
wicked,
price
wicked
he had.
day.
Which event was that?
That was the upper bay. That was
That
the
was
second time I think we were on the upper bay. And the weather was just nasty, man. I
mm,
mean, just nasty. And I pulled up as usual around 8 o'clock. I'm thinking I'm
oh,
just gonna slide into the lake and just do some fishing. And man, everybody came out of there like, what is going on? It's terrible out here, blah, blah, blah. And then they went back out. I said, I don't know what you guys are gonna do, but I'm going back out. I mean, I'm going out.
Yeah.
And they just started catching them. So, but it
Yeah,
was rough
man.
out there. It was windy. It was raining. I mean, it was straight nasty. I've been in situations like that. It's when it's a tough bite. It's miserable sometimes.
Yeah,
To
if you're
stick
not
with
getting
it.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kyle saying that demon minnow is fire. Um,
it is.
yeah. Yeah,
It
I've got a
is.
few bags on the tackle wall, custom
It is.
colors.
Oh,
And
you
that,
know what?
yeah, go ahead.
No, keep going, because
No,
I'm gonna find that video with the demon minnow.
oh, okay. But yeah, I was just gonna say, the benefit of working with Justin is having access to creating custom colors. Like if you know they're on a specific color pattern, he can dial that in for you. Um, and you can also ideate and dream with him. I need to get up with Justin during the off season because I've got a lot of ideas for next year with these swim jigs that I'm building. But we have fresh footage that I'm going to show now.
As a trailer, and I wasn't even fishing that long, and I got a bite. And I don't know if this was a bass or a snake. I think this is a bass. It must be a bass. I
Yeah,
definitely would.
yeah,
Yeah. And that was on the red. That was on the fire crawl color.
yeah. It looks pre-spawn.
It was. It was in the spring.
Okay.
It was in the spring. I just when you take that bait and
Hmm.
you get it in grass, that's when it shines. Because when you get it snagged and you snatch it out of the grass, it's erratic. I
Yeah.
mean, it darts back and forth, and that's when they come up and just smash it. And that's all I was doing. I was just when I filled the grass, tick tick tick, and they got hung. I just snatched it, and then
Yeah.
soon after the bite would occur. Now, this was a hookup with a monster snake.
Ooh.
I
Yeah.
mean, at this point, all I want to do is get my jackhammer back. But it was a beautiful snakehead, though.
Good deal. And where did you say you were again, Carl?
Potomac River. That was I could give you the exact location. That
Nah.
was in Battlewoman. That was in Battlewoman.
What?
I was taking pictures of everybody fishing, and I just stopped to fish for a little bit because nobody was around. I didn't want to fish where other anglers were because I wasn't
Yeah.
in that tournament. And I just happened to try out that demon crawl from Old Line Baits. I've been itching to try it, man. It produced right off the bat. I mean, I wasn't fishing that long. I might have fished about 20 minutes total.
This is
And I
the
caught
case
2
study.
fish, like boom, boom, just like that.
Amazing.
I don't know if I got my jackhammer back.
If
This
I
video,
recall correctly, I don't think you did. Spoiler alert.
I think something bad is about to happen here. I should have brought a net. That was my mistake. I tried to lip it with some grippers, and man, these fish are so strong, especially when you hook into a big one. All it
Yeah.
does, I mean, a couple of head shakes, and they're sawing your line in two, and they're gone with a $15 jackhammer hanging out their mouth, just like that.
Man.
So
But there you all go.
if you catch a jackhammer next year, no, I'm sorry, if you catch a snakehead with a red fire crawl jackhammer with a demon minnow, that was the one I caught.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Looks like Josh can spot burn.
I'm
But
telling you, it's no secrets on the Potomac. I mean, guys will triangulate. They'll use all kinds of
listen, some of the best
Google
anglers need
Earth.
to be in the CIA and FBI.
Oh yeah,
Just Kyle saying you need to throw P line.
hey,
But
if P-Line wants to sponsor us,
hey,
I'll
there
put
we
some
go.
P-Line on.
But hey, as we continue, that was an old line baits sponsor reel, if you will. But Josh Evans, as you can see in his name here, Joshua Mech Evans, he is the founder of Mech Baits, custom crankbaits, which I know many of our members have, especially those who have been in the money. But, both myself and Carl are fans of Mech Baits. And I will say that if you're going to be purchasing Mech Baits, um, I would definitely stock up. There you go. I mean, look at the packaging. Come on now. That's
This is
beautiful.
let me see if you can get a good picture of let me take it out for you. But these are custom painted baits, crankbaits by Josh Evans and his company, Mech Baits. And
Hey, Josh is looking to re-up next season. Man, that's nice.
now word on the street is Josh might have caught the big bass on the Potomac with something that might have looked like this. If you go back and look at that video, there's a crankbait involved.
Kyle has
Might have been this one.
10 plus mech baits on his tackle wall. Kyle's a tackle head. Oh, it has rattles in it?
A heavy bead in here, just like a one knocker almost.
But so that's what I was saying though. I think the best time, and I'm not trying to sandwich Josh's baits to one time of the year, but from one angler to another, I think mech baits is a must-have for the pre-spawn. I think it's a must-have for the pre-spawn. I would definitely recommend stocking up on mech baits during this off season. I don't know if he's doing anything going into the holidays. I haven't talked to Josh about that yet. But as soon as the pre-spawn comes around, I would not want to have to try to get on Josh's schedule to figure out if I can get one. I would want to have my arsenal together. I would want to have my arsenal of mech baits in line in February, to be honest.
I know he gave out a lot of crankbaits this year to the second and third place winners. I know there was a lot of custom crankbaits given out.
Yeah, and he said he's painting batches over the winter. So listen, guys, especially if you've been fishing and you know what colors they want and you know what's worked for you consistently over the years, get in touch with Josh, and get that straightened out, get that situated. Because one, he's really easy to work with and he does quality work. And we all know cranking is a big deal in the pre-spawn.
Yes. Even in the summertime, cranking is still
teach. Yeah.
I mean, I was doing some cranking on the Upper Bay. Didn't have any success with it, but I was doing some cranking on the Upper Bay this weekend. I fished a bass boat tournament with my buddy Jim. And if you guys don't know who Jim is the guy in the video on my YouTube channel where I got disqualified in a kayak tournament. And I met him on the sassafras. I just happened to meet him on the sassafras. And me and Jim go way back. The first time I met him, he won his very first event on the Upper Bay. And I'd never seen anybody win before out of a bass boat. And he just had one of those days where he couldn't do any wrong. I mean, he was throwing back 4-pounders. I mean, he had that kind of day. And I caught my personal best that day. And it was the only fish I caught. It was like 6.5 pounds. I've never seen a bass that big in my life. On a rattle trap.
Wow.
On a rattle trap. I had a one knocker.
Okay.
Booyah, one knocker.
Huh.
But he was catching his on something else. It was a Spro type of trap. And back in the day, they had precision tackle that used to be right across the street from Anchor Marina. And I mean, they had all the stuff in there. I mean, they had the Japanese stuff, all that. What do they call it? The JMDs or whatever it is. What is the name that they give it?
Don't get me lying.
They had all that in there. I mean, all the
Japanese
stuff
traps.
Pro. They had it in there. They had the regular stuff too. And I went over there and I bought up all the traps that I saw him catching it on. He had a Spro. I forgot what it was called, man. But they had like like that crankbait I just showed you with Josh. It had the same colors: the black back, the red, the gold JDM. You got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
JDM. It had all those colors in it, and that's what they wanted that day. And I'm telling you, I've never seen a show put on like that with a rattle trap.
Mm.
I mean, it was incredible, just incredible. And I couldn't catch anything. He gave me his rod. I still couldn't catch any fish. It was just that kind of day. And I lost my one knocker right after I caught that 6.5 because I was stupid. I didn't retie, and I was swinging all hard. And that thing just snapped. I should have had P-line on there.
That's
P-line, if you're listening.
Listen, so yeah, so that's a little bit about Joshua Meck Evans and Justin Talbot of Old Line Baits. But there's also another sponsor, which is Big Bass USA, where both Karl and I have purchased boats. Many of our members have purchased boats, motors, things of that nature. But Chris Leslie, phenomenal individual, gentleman to work with. My son will probably purchase his first, well, I'll purchase my son's kayak from Chris when the time comes, but he's got at least 2 or 3 more years. He's only a year old. So, oh, Josh is saying that he'll link us up with P-Line. Now, Josh Evans is the man. But also our angler of the year. I mean, I'm probably going to say that in every episode. But yeah, so check out Big Bass USA. Have a conversation with Chris. Incredible. All members get 10% off, which is huge. And also, Chris can work out certain things where you may not pay tax. So definitely have that conversation as well. But what I appreciate about Chris is that he doesn't try to force you into a boat. He's really detail oriented and making sure that, if you want to be pedaled, powered, or paddled, that you're going in that route. If you have any type of lumbar issues or any physical ailments, making sure that you're finding something that has the right seat and the right space for you to be able to enjoy your day on the water. It's really an experience when you go there. So tell
It
them.
is. When the first time I met him, I pretty much knew what I wanted. I got that Johnny Bo Bass 100 from him.
Mm-hmm.
And I've researched. So I knew what I was going to get the minute, I called him, he had it. So when I got there, he had it already out, waiting on me, helped me put it on top of my truck and showed me how to strap it down. And man, I was happy. I never looked back. And here we are today, off of that one meeting.
Full circle.
Oh, and by the way, he does sell New Canoe. He does. I'm not sponsored by New Canoe, but I'm telling you, I love New Canoe. I'm not hating on any other kayak. I love all the kayaks, but I love my New Canoe.
I love my Bonafide
style of fishing that I can do off a New Canoe. So he does have the New Canoe Unlimited.
Man, it's got New Canoe.
Beast.
Yeah, New Canoe, Jackson, Bonafide, Native, Feel Free. I don't know if is Big Rig a brand or is that a variant of Jackson?
Jackson kayak. Yeah.
I want to say he almost has everything but Hobie. I think Wilderness Systems now. So yeah, give him a call. And then last but not least, you want to take this one, Karl? Kayak WC. Yeah.
Santiago, man, he was critical. Kayak Fishing with Christ. He's a member there. If you haven't checked out their Facebook page, check him out, man. These guys are incredible. So just quick story. I think he was the first one that approached us about sponsorship.
He was. I remember the Zoom call.
We had our first podcast and Santiago was so gracious. I mean, he was already a member on the Facebook page, but we really didn't know who he was. And we had a podcast and he reached out to us after the podcast and he's like, something, it's something about you two guys. He was feeling the vibe that we had. He was feeling the vision that we had and he wanted to get involved. And, but he had some questions. So we had a meeting. We had a very productive meeting and Kayak Fishing with Christ and Santiago Rivera, man, were very gracious. I mean, they were the first sponsors we had. They stepped up to the plate and really helped change the trajectory of our tournament organization, and they believed in us from the jump. So, and I don't even think Santiago fished the tournament this year,
No, he just had a
which
gracious heart.
I really was looking forward to meeting Santiago. Santiago, if you're listening, man, we need you to come out next year. We need you to come out. We need
Yeah.
your presence. And he was
So
busy this year. He had a lot going on.
I don't know if everyone caught that. Our big bass sponsor, we met virtually. We had never met in person, and he gave our club $500 because he believes in what our club is doing.
And he told us we could do whatever we wanted to do with the
Yeah,
$500. Just make sure it goes towards the organization. So we got together and we said, you know what? Let's make this prize money for the biggest bass of the year.
which
We
went to
all of it went to,
Nick Myers.
yeah, I forgot who it was. Nick Myers. There's a
It's a
couple Nicks. Yeah, but Nick Myers.
similar sounding name, Mick Allen,
Yeah.
or Mickey. God, I'm just gonna call him Mickey because I always butcher his last name. Fresh. Okay, it's hot off the press. He says that he misses the club. He switched gears to smallmouth, but he's already thinking about tidal bass fishing in the spring. I can't wait for Mickey to be back on the water and for us to be able to fish with him because he started off the season, stop number one, battling it out with Josh. I mean,
He talking about the hammer?
yeah, we're talking about the hammer.
Fordish.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He's certified. But
Hammer.
okay, so those are
Yeah.
the sponsors. I'm just going to go ahead and drop the spoiler alert now because we're almost a half hour into the podcast. Um, a little while ago, I don't even remember when it was. I saw on the Maryland DNR page that they were looking for new members of a specific organization or committee. And I figured, hey, this seems to be aligned with what I'm passionate about and what our club is interested in. So I applied. And officially, I believe it's safe to announce this. I got the email 2 days ago. As of 2 days ago, I am now a member of the Black Bass Advisory Committee. So, what that means, thank you. I appreciate that.
Get the
Um,
golf clap.
thank you. What that means is,
He's the
um,
man.
well, we now have access to a committee that advocates for the sport that we love and being able to maintain the fisheries that we love. And the way that it works is basically I'm the spokesperson for the committee to the club, but also our club can tell me exactly what you all are looking for when it comes to what you see on the water, what you would like to see improved, ways that you could see the sport growing, issues that you see, maybe if there's, I don't know, something going on with the bass in the Potomac. You're like, hey, this doesn't look right. You can submit photos, send them to me. I'll send them directly to the Black Bass Advisory Committee, which is a part of the Maryland DNR program, and action can be taken a lot faster. But basically, we meet 4 times a year, and these meetings are live streamed. So you can even attend and ask questions then. But it's all about um, fishing in a more ethical way. They love the CPR method. So that's something that we already do. But basically, I am now a direct link for our club to be able to speak to DNR, to do what we need to do to continue doing what we love. And I'm excited to see what that looks like. Our first meeting's Monday, so I'll be able to provide a lot more information then. But I'm
Can't
hoping
wait.
that, yeah, this will be another, step forward for CRM as well. So that's the special announcement.
So you're gonna have to get rid of at Faith Fishing Fitness and put at the man at the bottom. That's your
Man,
new
I'm just trying to keep up with you, Carl. All right, you are the glue. You know what? I forgot to do this. Guys, I would like to thank Carl Wynn for being such a visionary, for being the glue to the club, for tournament directing, for running the Facebook page and welcoming all of our members. You guys see all the work that Carl puts in. I think if we can give Carl a virtual round of applause. That is much overdue. Because really, I don't know how much of a club we'd have if it wasn't for Karl. So, um,
This is
yeah,
all
so
I do. This is all I do.
it makes sense now. It makes sense now. But yeah, guys. So a lot of great things are happening right now for CRM. 2025 is going to be a wild year. But let's get into it. Let's get into it with stop number 7.
Stop number 7. It was a shootout. It really was. This was the beginning. This was Midsummer Madness.
Mm,
If I'm remembering, this is the legendary run that Jesse Ketchum went on,
yeah,
where he just torched the Potomac and collected 2 wins over the weekend, back to back. But he had 89 inches. He caught 5. He caught
sheesh.
5, and then he caught another 8 after he caught his limit. Altogether, he caught about 13 fish, which was, I'm sorry, 14 fish, which was incredible. If my math is correct,
Yeah.
13, 14, yeah, 13. Incredible, incredible. And then Andrew Markeeson, who
Hmm.
we didn't see a lot of. The guy was pretty busy this year, but he put up 88 and a half. I mean, he was right there on Jesse's tail. Um,
Yeah.
he caught a limit +4. And then, of course, you got Josh, Mr. Steady, Mr. Consistent. You
He
know, he
caught
comes in
9.
85 and a half. He caught 9 fish. And then you got Pete. Pete had a day. He had 83 inches.
Yeah.
Pete Christovergis, he caught a limit. So that, I think that was a big day for him. And then we had Mr. Bass and Furious himself,
Yeah.
Tyrone Adams. If you guys don't know who Tyrone Adams is, he has a huge following on TikTok and Facebook and
Yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Bass and Furious, big time tournament, bass tournament angler, co-angler, and he was gracious enough to come out and fish with us this year, and it was his first time fishing in the kayak event. So, and he did pretty well. I mean, the guy can fish. He finished 5th. He had 82. He caught 7 fish. And then we had Cal Christovergis. I mean, they're just littering the top 10. Cal came in with 81 and a half. He caught
Yeah.
6 fish. And then we had Andrew Yonker. I remember Andrew. He's Mr. River Runners over there on the Eastern
Yeah.
Shore. Bryce
Kyle
Moore.
caught
Yeah.
Kyle caught big bass that tournament too, with
Did he?
19 and 3/4. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kyle, it's no wonder why at the end of the year he was right there. I mean, because his name is all over the top 10. So, yeah, that was stop number 6, the first day of
Midsummer
Midsummer
Madness.
Madness. Oh, and shout out to Pat Bruss, because on
Oh,
the
that's
second
right.
day, Sunday, Pat Bruss showed up. Who had the grill? Somebody bought a grill.
Pat
Was it
brought the
Pat?
grill. It was on. Yeah. Somehow he got his
Crazy.
kayak and his grill on his pickup bed. I don't know if he trailed the kayak. He made it happen.
Man, let me tell you, this guy came in, he fished the tournament, then he got off the water and proceeded to kick ass on the grill. Sorry, Mom. Kick behind on the grill. He put together some hamburgers. I think we had you got some Bubba burgers or whatever they were called. I mean, they were just mouth-watering, just
Yeah, man.
perfect. I mean, he had everything. The whole spread was just. If you missed Midsummer Madness on that Sunday, you really missed out, because that was something
That's
else.
I think that's a staple now.
Yeah. We gotta do that again, man. That was so cool. And then we had I should show a couple quick videos of the guys, what we were doing. I think we were doing we had a couple of
But cornhole, right?
we were
Well,
flipping for prizes with the cornhole, flipping jigs.
yeah.
I can't find that video right now. I wish I could. Wow. But
But
yeah,
Carl,
we had time.
what I really appreciated most was the fact that the guys still hung out after being on the water for 8 hours. They were tired. It was hot that day, but I mean, they hung with us for I don't know how long. I mean, it seemed like we were hanging out for a while, but what is this?
3/8.
Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
So this is Kyle going up against Josh, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it looks a lot easier than what it really was, but I think Kyle ended up beating Josh,
Josh trying to slam dunk that thing.
and he got the pick of the litter when it came to prizes because he got the spanking brand new CRM fishing jersey, which is worth
That's
about
true.
$45. So
Didn't
that was a smart choice rather than going with the bait.
didn't somebody also get a straight out of Woman t-shirt?
That was Mark Nelson, I think.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. So Jesse won again. He had 86 and 3/4. He had another phenomenal day. He caught 14 fish. I mean, that's just incredible. And then Charlie, this is the first Charlie Rustler sighting I think we had.
Yeah.
Charlie showed up on the radar. He finished second, and he caught looks like about 12 fish that day, which is nothing to sneeze at. And then Mark Nelson had a good day. He came in with 81 inches and he caught 9 fish. And
Yeah.
then Kyle Christophergis is on the leaderboard again with Mr. Consistent with another limit. Josh right behind him in 5th place with another limit. Well, he caught 10 fish that day. And then Justin Thompson and Pete and Pat. So, and I think Charlie had big fish.
Yeah. One thing I noticed, everybody caught fish that entered the tournament during Midsummer Madness. There were no skunks
No.
between the 2 days.
They were catching them by the bushels.
So just because it was hot didn't mean they weren't biting. So come out next year. There we go.
Yeah, Midsummer Madness. That had to be one of my favorites. I mean, I love food. Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays just because of the food. But Midsummer Madness, man, the food, that was everything. I think I brought my wife. A couple guys brought their significant others. So it's one of those things where you can bring your family, you can bring your kids, whatever. Share a hot dog, hamburger, and just have a good time. And I mean, we really did. It was really cool. It was really laid back. So, I think in June after that, we had a online tournament. You want to go with the online tournament?
I mean, let's finish the regular season.
Let's finish the regular season. All right. So, stop number 9 would be the Upper Bay. And that's when Charlie finally broke through and got a win. Charlie Rustler.
Yeah.
He came in with 8 fish with 86 1/4 to take the top prize. Jesse Ketchum again coming off of two back-to-back wins, follows up with a second with 83.5 on a totally different body of water.
Yeah.
And some guy named Carl Wynn, he had 83.5 too. He should have been second, but somehow I showed Jesse too much. And he got me. Then Kyle, we were all fishing in the same area. Kyle, he came in with 78.5. He had a decent day. I think that was probably one of his better days on the Upper Bay because he's just starting to learn it. And Nick came in with another nice bag. He had 77 1/4 with the limit. Kenny G had a limit. Pat Bruss had 4. And Mark and Nicholas and Justin filled out the rest. But yeah, Nick Myers, he had big bass in that one too. 19 1/4. Yeah. And stop number 10, if I'm not mistaken, that would be,
I think that's the first day of Battle of the Best, yeah. So that was our most recent tournament.
Yeah, we're not even going to go over July online tournament. We're not even going to go there. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Man,
I'm not touching it.
Yeah, there's no need to go over that. But yeah, Battle of the Best. It was a great experience. And You want to go over the results, and then we talk about how the idea that we have for next season when it comes to
Sure,
what you put on a Facebook poll a little while ago.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, Battle of the Best was it was a classic tournament in my eyes. You had the top dogs that were just going at it. I know the first day, and I think we need to do a separate podcast just on the first day.
I think so.
Yeah,
I really do.
we need to have Charlie, and we need to have Kyle and Peter on,
Yeah, the Chris of urgencies.
because from what I understand, they were on Gilligan's Island. They found Gilligan's Island, and they were still there, from what I understand.
We can laugh about it now because they're okay. Oh,
But
man.
nothing makes your heart beat faster when you get a call saying somebody is having a little trouble out on the water, and
Yeah.
that was something. That definitely gets your heart rate going. But as you
Josh
all
is
go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm saying Josh said Battle of the Best messed with his head for sure. I can only imagine how Josh felt that weekend.
He said he wasn't going to come out the second day because he didn't see how he was going to win.
Yeah, which was also my fault.
He didn't see
But
how he was going to win it, and his wife told him to get his behind out there, and we all know what happened.
there
He
we
came
go.
in with 138 inches over 2 days. He had 74 inches on the first day, followed up on the second day with 64 inches,
Mm.
and it was just a solid outing. He was Mr. Consistent. Now Jesse Ketchum came into the tournament leading AOI by a point, was it?
Yeah, 1 point.
But we had a little point system snafu where we crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's before we handed out this $1,000 and this belt and all this other stuff. We wanted to make sure that we really had the right person. So we went back over the rules on how you score the tournaments, and we had everything right. The only thing we left out was the 2 extra points that you get if you had big bass for that particular tournament. Whatever tournament it was, you accumulated an extra 2 points over top of whatever points you had based on your ranking in the tournament.
Yeah.
And we had to go back and rescore all the tournaments that Josh, Jesse,
Kyle.
Charlie, Kyle, all of them had big fish in. And when we did that, we found out that Jesse was no longer in the lead. Josh was in the lead.
Yeah, because Josh had, I believe he caught big bass in at least 2 of the tournaments, and Jesse caught big
Right.
bass in 1.
Yep.
So that was an additional 4 points for Josh, an additional 2 points for Jesse, but that gave Josh a 1 point advantage over Jesse.
Yes, and the big
That
bass ended up being a big thing.
Yeah, so that goes to show for next season, you can catch big bass, come in second, and have more points for AOI than the person who wins first place. So, I mean, I don't know how that impacts your strategy, but Evan the angler, if I catch a limit, I'm hunting for big fish.
You got to fish till the end. You never know.
Once I get 5, I'm throwing big stuff. That's just me.
Yeah,
No.
even if you're having a bad day and you just catch 1 fish, but it's the biggest fish of the tournament, not only do you win big fish for that tournament, but you get the 2 extra points.
Yeah.
So it could come down to 2 points at the end of the season.
Yeah,
Just like it did here.
And if it's a tight tournament like the Upper Bay was, where there weren't a ton of limits because of weather and all that stuff, I mean, I think third place may have had 3 fish. Second and third had 3 fish. But if you came in third and got big bass, you really got more points than second place. Like, yeah. So fish them hard, fish till the end.
Yeah. So Jesse was right there with Josh on the first day. He had 72.5, and Josh had 74 inches. But on the second day, Jesse didn't catch a fish till after, I think it was after 11 o'clock. It was almost midday. before he caught
Yeah,
his first fish. But he ended up with 56 3/4. Anyway, even though he didn't catch his first fish until almost 12 o'clock. But he stumbled out of the gate on the second day, and Josh I think he had a limit early. He had a small limit, like 64 inches or something like that. But Jesse was just behind him with 56 3/4, and it just wasn't enough. He ended up finishing second, and Charlie finished third. Again, Charlie had a whale of a tail because the first day he was basically the Coast Guard out there on the Potomac, and he had Coast Guard duties he had to fulfill, and we're thankful for him for doing that.
definitely.
Because he definitely gets the sportsman. If we had an award for sportsmanship of the year,
Oh,
sportsman of the year, it would be Charlie Rustler.
indeed.
Because in the biggest tournament of the year, basically, he stopped to help out a fellow competitor, and that was in trouble. And that's the main thing, that everybody came back safe.
Yeah.
But it came with a small price, and he had 15 1/4. I think he caught one fish on day one. Now scroll back to day two. He had the largest bag on day two. He had 77 inches on day two. So if he just, I'm glad he was where he was.
That's true. That is true.
But if circumstances were different, it probably would have had a different outcome, and this would have been like a 3-man race going into day three.
Yeah. But he caught a check, came in third.
And third.
Also, shout out to Charlie because he was in, I believe, the Ike event. And did he come in third or fifth or something in that event as well?
Third place, man. Put some respect on Charlie's name, man. He finished third out there catching smallies on the Susquehanna.
Charlie Russell, indeed. That's a dangerous man when he has a fishing pole in his hand.
Yeah. So just rounding out the top guys, we had Justin coming in fourth, Justin Thompson, Mark Nelson coming in at fifth, Kyle Christoverges sixth, and Pete Christoverges coming in seventh. And Josh had big bass. He won big bass. I mean, he cleaned up, man. He won the tournament.
Yeah.
Battle the best. He won big bass for that tournament.
Yeah.
And then he almost won big bass for the year.
Right.
He was only off like a quarter or something like that. I mean, he was right there.
Yeah.
And then he won AOI.
Mm-hmm.
So he had pretty much the trifecta in that tournament. And kudos to Josh, man. That was a tremendous performance he put on.
And he did it using iRod fishing rods. So if you're looking for, I feel so salesy, but no, iRod is a prospective, pretty much new sponsor for 2025. Extremely grateful and excited. And our Angler of the Year fishes with iRod. I know Kyle just purchased an iRod. This is before we even announced them as a sponsor for the upcoming season. I can't wait to try out iRods as well.
Yeah, I want to try them out too.
So, yeah.
From what I understand, they're light.
Indeed. Yeah. So, man, a quality rod, especially when, on those days when it's tough, the last thing you want to do is be tired of, working your Texas rig or whatever it may be. Just makes the day that much better. Also, sensitivity. Sometimes, those mushy bites, I feel like that's probably, easier to detect. Kyle's ordering another iRod tomorrow. We might have to have an intervention for Kyle. Kyle has a son, like this guy's just out here. It seems like every week he's. No, I'm kidding. Do what you love. Do what you're passionate about.
You know how it is when you have to build your arsenal up in the beginning. You have to, you need different rod specific, technique specific rods. Yeah. You need an edge, any kind of edge you can get.
Kyle wants to do a tackle room tour. Hey, listen, I'll come to you. I don't mind. We can make that happen. Or you just go live from your house. We'll bring you on. But yeah, that's the 2024 main event season recap. And I think it was a good first season. I really do.
It was. I mean, it had a lot of surprises. It had a lot of weather challenges. Um, the thing I'm gonna remember, probably take away from it, is just working with you. Coordination with you was effortless. It was flawless. Communication was just on point. You would have thought we had known each other for a long time. The way we worked together, it was almost symbiotic. The way we were thinking on certain things.
Yeah,
He would bounce stuff off of me. I would bounce stuff off of him. And tell me what you think about this and that. And we just worked through everything together. Um, you did a phenomenal job, man. Phenomenal job this year.
I appreciate it. I think I told you earlier on, with team projects, I always felt like I was the one carrying all the weight. That was not the case. I often felt like I needed to keep up with you. And that honestly, it was a little uncomfortable at first, but I learned that I can trust you and that we can both co-lead to the point where I feel as though we can make decisions that we know is for the betterment of the club. Where
Right.
unless it's something wild, I don't even need to call you about it. Like, when I appreciated you all bringing me on the iRod call, but I think you already knew that I was down with that. Like that wasn't something I would have had to co-sign on because that's what CRM needs. So we're on the same wavelength.
Pretty much, man. I mean, there's no egos here. There's no egos at all, man. I need Evan. Evan, I don't know if he needs me, but I need Evan. Evan is the guy that runs. He does the podcast. He's the idea guy. I mean, all the photos, the videos, the production, the editing of all that is done by a professional. This guy right here. The stuff
That's my
you
lane.
do is amateur hour.
But
Okay.
okay, the stuff that you're doing keeps the club together. So to me, that I think we complement each other well. I'll run the website, and the way that you engage with anglers, you speak the language. Like you understand how anglers think. You've competed before at a high level. Yeah, so
Hey, look, we both have a deep appreciation for all the guys that rock with us this year. When we started,
yeah,
what was it, January? It was New Year's Day.
did
We
the New
had
Year sale.
special. Yeah, we had the special. We polled everything. What should the tournament fee be? And guys chimed in. They gave us a lot of good feedback on that. What should
Yeah,
the membership fee be? Guys gave us a lot of good feedback on that. And we when we started off, we didn't have any money. We didn't have. I mean, I think I put $100 in the bank account, and
hmm
we didn't have any money.
yeah,
But we had Santiago step up,
hmm
um, and granted us, a sponsorship. We had Big Bass USA step up, and that was huge. We
yeah,
had, and then, but I think the biggest thing were the members. The
yeah,
members, the guys that came in January and signed up for membership, man, I will never forget you guys because you didn't know us from anybody. We were brand new. You didn't know us, but you
that's
trusted
true.
us. And you
And,
said, you
and
know what? I'm going to take a chance on these guys. And
it,
we appreciate you. We appreciate you because that membership drive really boosted us to the point where we could go out and fulfill a dream of getting the championship belt. That
yeah,
belt was $200. All the money that we get coming in, it goes right back out to you guys, either
yeah,
in the form of payouts for tournament prizes or just paying for the food, the awards, all that stuff. I mean, all of it went right back into the club. And um, the big thing for me, I wanted to make sure we had that belt. I wanted to make sure we had that belt. And
yeah.
when I got that belt in,
I know you're excited because we're trying to figure out what should be the prize, and we agreed like hoisting the belt over the shoulder. That was it. And then you
I would
found
want
it.
to fish. We want to fish for a belt. I would want to fish for a belt. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of different trophies, and there's a lot of cool trophies out there. But we didn't see anybody doing a belt, that WWE style belt. We didn't. I just thought that was just like the most coolest thing ever. And I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys agreed. And Josh ended up winning it. But there was, I mean, he's got the ultimate bragging rights, man. He can slap that belt out at any tournament and just remind folks
Keep it
who
in
the
the
man
truck.
was.
Yeah.
2024. He just put it
Right.
on the front. He just put it on the hood of his truck and just
Uh, you can do that if you're AOY.
you wanna beat, like Ric Flair says, you wanna beat a man, you gotta beat the man.
There
So
you go.
he's the man right now.
There you go.
He's the man.
But yeah, so you had put out a poll a little while ago in the Facebook group about a potential spring event. You want to elaborate on that at all?
First of all, my apologies because I have like big fingers, and when I'm trying to like vote or check on how the voting is going with the polls, it's right by the delete button. So it's like
Uh-oh.
you can vote or you can delete it. And it's like my finger sometimes is too much on the delete side. And I deleted the first question.
Oh snap.
I do that
What
all
hold
the
on.
time, man.
What was the first one? Well,
It,
actually, what was the question?
it was I was sitting around thinking, we do have the battle of the best, right? But what if we really had like a true battle of all the baddest anglers? Like, it's battle of the best for our club, but there's nothing in this area that's really putting club members against club members, like other club members, like your best club members against our best club members. Put it all in one tournament. Let's see who's who, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And we talked about this earlier in the season before we started fishing our schedule. We had little talks about this because guys were chirping back and forth at against different clubs or whatever. I know Josh and um who's the guy in River Run, Dave. They were going back and forth. That was fun. And I just figured, why don't we just get out on the water and just settle it? Like, you got NVKBA, you got MAKBA. I hope I'm saying that right.
MAKBF.
MAKBF. You got River Runners. You got the Appalachian Trail up there,
Yeah,
way up there. Who else? We got the Jackson Kayak Trail.
right.
You got all these great trails with all these great anglers, and I know a lot of the guys fish the same trails. But what if we did something where we had a tournament in the spring, and we had the top 10 in AOI, the top 5 in AOI, make it a 2-day tournament, and just have the top guys from each club in AOI
Yeah,
points fish just one tournament. And I think you were saying $100 to get in. It's a 2-day
yeah.
tournament.
For the 2 day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it pays three slots guaranteed. And
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, depend. Yeah, three slots for sure. Because I mean, I don't know how many members are across all the clubs. Like MAKBF's a large club, so
Yeah,
their top 10 might be more than our top 10 or Appalachian or so on.
yeah,
But if there was over 40 people, then top 4 spots, I would imagine.
yeah. I mean, I think we should make something like this happen. And it seemed like when I put the poll up, it seemed like that was what people wanted. They wanted that format where it was the top guys in AOI from each club. They go at it at the end of not at the end of the year, but in the spring. Um,
Yeah,
I think that'll be awesome.
because the premise is kind of like, September is a tough month to fish, and we're all about fishing on some of the best fisheries in the area, and also at the best time of the year. And the best time of the year, as we all know, is that pre-spawn spawn time. So why not have the best fishing at the best time? So we're working on it. We need to contact the club, see if everybody's in. But if CRM were to enter, right, who would be who would be in that tournament? I'm bringing up our website now.
Good question.
So we're saying the top 10% or top 10 anglers?
I think I had like a number. It was like either the top 5 or 10 anglers in the AOI race. Like if you're in the top 10 in the AOI, I think you should be able to qualify for it.
Okay. Which reminds me, I need to finalize AOI. I got lazy. But we know we got Josh, Jesse, Kyle, Charlie, Nick, Mickey would be in there, Justin Thompson, Pete, and then from there it might get a little interesting. I think Mark Nelson for sure, and then we got a couple guys on the bubble that I have to solidify if we go top 10 anglers. But I, I think that's something that I would even want to see if we could try and live stream it. You know,
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the anglers like they fish other clubs too. We fished.
that's
I mean,
true.
I fished MAKBF.
Hmm.
we did. I think it was Potomac. I'm not sure which one it was. No, it was the
The one in the Upper Bay, right?
Conowingo. Conowingo. That's the one that
Conowingo.
Mickey won. He
Oh,
crushed everybody. He
yeah, that
just
was
reached in
brutal.
and just pulled everybody's heart out.
That that was a master class. That
Yeah,
was
yeah, that was something else. But like if you look on MAKBF Angler of the Year, I mean, they got Mickey on there, Nate Hall,
mhm.
Josh, Matt Campbell, J.R. Rentz,
I think
Charlie Rupp.
Josh. I think Josh could win AOY depending on how their TOC goes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Josh is saying a couple of us are top 10 in CRM and MAKBF.
Yeah.
So those of us in that situation would have to pick, which he doesn't mind. Hey, represent who you want to represent. You know, we another thing that we're grateful for is because we like to ideate and come up with things that are just a little, you know, I guess kind of novel. We are in a spot where we are grateful for creating a space that really grows the sport. So this is something that would be like a CRM staple, something that builds the brand of CRM, uh, which is honestly just being able to do that in and of itself is something that makes me really happy. So, yeah, that's what we're here for. I think it's something that'll just continue to push. What would you call the region that we fish?
The region.
Yeah, like we're not mid Atlantic because we're only in Maryland. Hey, Mickey's on here. He says that he's going to be at Goldsboro. Good luck to both of you all because you guys are, I mean, Mickey, we call you the hammer for a reason. Josh, you're AOY here, so I'm going to try to follow that as closely as possible.
There's a lot of good anglers in this area, man. A
There
lot of good anglers.
are. There really are. Oh, okay, okay. But yeah, so yeah, that's all we're trying to do. Continue to share new ways to enjoy what we love doing even more. So I think that's really it for tonight, right?
I think so. We covered the year in review, all 11 or 10 tournaments.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, what was your favorite part of the year? What was your favorite memory from this year?
I mean, passing out donuts on the first event.
That was
Uh,
epic, by the way.
I I really like that. I got distracted. Mick is saying that Josh is battling his conscience right now. He made Mick a custom lure, but will he give me Weapon X before the AOI turn?
Ooh,
Oh
ooh.
man. To hand your competition what could be the winning lure. That's when you know you make good stuff, you know? That's how you know you make good stuff. But my favorite part of the entire season, that's a really challenging question. Really challenging question. Because I think for me, I want to say it was the cookout of Midsummer Madness. To me, it kind of felt like a family gathering, you know?
Yeah, that was super
It
cool.
seemed like all the guys were having a good time. Everyone had a great time on the water,
It was
enjoying some
hot.
good food.
It was hot, but that
Yeah,
food was on point. That food was on point, man. We had ice cold drinks, barbecue, just like
but
it's the
Carl,
way I like to spend my day.
but then it's also the MAKBF joint tournaments. Those were great too. Because we had tacos. We had tacos on the Upper Bay, and that was a
Yeah,
great
we
time.
had that was man, I was so hungry too, man. That was right on time. Those tacos were just they were killer tacos. If you guys missed that Upper Bay tournament where Evan pulled out those tacos, man,
To me, it's honestly, I think it's whenever we have donuts, burgers, tacos.
those
I'm noticing a
tacos was
trend.
they were killer.
Does anybody know a potential food sponsor so that we can have more food at our award ceremonies?
Bubba Burgers, somebody reach out to
Dunkin'
Bubba Burgers,
Donuts.
Dunkin'
Mick,
Donuts.
Mick is asking when is the Northeast All Star tournament? I'm not familiar with that. If
Mm.
you all can help him out in the comments, hey, appreciate that, Mick. Mick saying that the tacos were the absolute truth. I tried. But what about you, Carl? What was your favorite event or favorite part of the season?
There were so many. It's hard to deduce it down to like one thing.
That's what
Obviously, this was a very special day.
I'm saying. Yeah,
Did I mention that? That was on Father's Day too. That was pretty cool.
yeah.
That was pretty cool. But aside from that, I mean,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I think the thing that I remember that my favorite part of this season was obviously the first tournament because the weather was so shaky. We still pulled it off and it worked
Hmm.
out. We had our first winner. We rolled out our banner with all our sponsors on it for the first time. That was special. The video you put together, the donuts. I mean, that was just magical. The way that whole thing, and then you were catching fish too. The way that whole thing just
That
came
was a lot.
together, working through challenges and everything. Pulling it off. That was probably the most memorable thing, man. But there were so many moments. I think the photos that we took for the joint tournament in the spring with
Hmm.
MBKBA and MAKBF,
Yeah,
all the guys, we had 41 anglers. Man, that was something. That was something. Getting all those great photos and putting it together at the end, and then on the second day, getting even more great photos. Um, I think that kind of set the tone for the year. Um, just a lot of great memories, man. Just like the video we showed with Justin out there in the rain. We got another
yeah.
one with Kenny G in the rain. Just
Kenny
out there
G.
fishing, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a grind out there sometimes, and it's really cool to run into these guys doing their thing on the water. And when they have success, man, I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for
oh
them. Just
yeah,
like if I see anybody on the water, I'm rooting for them. Even if I'm fishing in the event, I'm rooting for you. I'll move over and let you have the spot. I don't care.
yeah.
But I just think it's so cool that we had all these guys come out and rock with us this year, and the vibe was tremendous. The members were tremendous. We couldn't have did it without the members. The members
Nah,
were just, I mean, hats off. A round of applause to the members of CRM. I think you
yeah.
guys are terrific. They're the best.
That's a fact.
Appreciate you.
That is a fact. Mick was referring to the spring battle for all of the AOI that we are talking about.
Okay.
So we don't want it to conflict with the current staple event, which is the NBKBA, MAKBF, CRM event that normally takes place in April.
Hmm.
Once that date is solidified, to my understanding, we agree we're going to just schedule it so that there's enough that we're not conflicting with that. So it might be early May, early to mid-May. When that pre-spawn spawn bite's still,
I
good
think
on and pop.
I think the best way to go about it is to get all the tournament directors on a meeting call and try to hammer out a date and see what
Yeah,
their interest is in doing it.
that's true.
I think our members are good to go. We're not scared. They're not scared. They're ready to go. I can't speak about MAKBF. I can't speak about NVKBA. I can't speak about River Runners. I can't speak. So I got to start the trash talking now. We can't talk about
Calling calling all anglers. Isn't that how you started this all off with the
calling
video?
all anglers. Calling all anglers.
Uh,
That's right.
and Mick is
So,
proposing we do it on the Conowingo too.
oh well, he
But
would.
right, that it does make sense, being
He
that
would.
that's where he taught his master class on.
I'm down with that. I'm down
And
with that.
that's neutral water
It's
because we don't
neutral.
fish the Conowingo.
It's neutral. It wouldn't mess with our schedule at all.
Okay,
We
sweet.
just got to figure out a date. But it has to be somewhere because you got the Virginia guys too. I don't know if they want to participate in it. I mean, I'm just assuming, but we're
Right.
not scared over here.
Okay, I know that's right. Can tournament directors get in? Just hold on. Josh is saying he'll message us. The Potomac event looks as though it might get
There
pushed
you
to
go.
mid-May, so it
There
could
you
happen
go.
in April. Hey, listen, a conversation just needs to be had, amongst all the club leaders, and we'll let y'all know. We got
We
nothing
we
but
can
time
do
and
it.
opportunity.
Yeah, we can do it on their turf. I mean, if they want to go down to Virginia, fish a lake down in Virginia, we can. Not Occoquan though. I'm not doing that lake,
Why not?
man.
Not a
Not
fan?
not a fan. But
Uh, I
yeah.
heard
I
they
mean,
hit big.
they do.
Good.
I just can't catch them.
What was it? Thomas Aarons. When we
Yeah,
were on this podcast, they're saying they hit big glide baits.
I know that's not my style of fishing. I can't do that. Yeah.
I know.
But no, we can do something in Virginia. We can do something in Maryland. We can even do something in PA. I mean, it just depends on something is the central, and I mean, the obvious place would be the Potomac.
So, all right, I know we're about to wrap, but I think depending on if all the clubs are from Maryland, then I think we should do Maryland water. But if we have Virginia clubs, Delaware clubs, PA clubs, all entering, I think we should rotate each year a fishery from each state's turf, if you will.
You talking
Or
about like the President's Cup in golf? Like sometimes they got it in Europe. They
yeah,
alternated, and the next year it's in the USA.
I think it's only fair.
Okay,
But
I think
again,
so.
that'll probably be a poll. But yeah, I'm looking forward to
We'll
that.
put up some lakes. We'll put up some lakes and let the anglers decide.
There
How
it
about
is.
that?
That's how we do it.
Take the thinking out of it.
Boom. All right. Well, go Ravens. Um, and I hope that you all have.
Go
Oh, you
Ravens.
go. You're a
I think
Washington
it's coming
fan,
off
right?
the rails now, man.
Listen, Derrick Henry is about to be out here making this statement. Oh yeah, Mickey's saying no lakes though.
No lakes. No
So I
lakes.
mean, what is Conowingo? A,
What
a
about
reservoir?
reservoirs?
Rivers only? We'll see.
I'm down. Are we talking
We'll see.
title? I'm down.
We should have a live stream with all of the club leaders and just have an open conversation where anglers can tune in and we can all talk about it at one time.
Now are we going tournament director for tournament director too? Like leadership, club
Well,
leadership against club leadership. Are we throwing that in there too?
I mean, I don't see why not, but we also need to figure out who is Switzerland going to be when it comes to judging the fish,
Mm,
right?
I'm sure we could find somebody.
We'll work it out. We'll work it out. I mean, I would even reach out to Dwayne. Dwayne has to know somebody, right?
Yeah, we got to get Aaron Fetterman out here.
Man, the what the was he caught a 26, right?
Yeah, we
What,
got to get some guys out there, man.
gosh, 26. Do I have a tape measure? Anywho,
Only goes to 32, right?
amazing. Oh, Josh says Amanda Brannon or Aaron Mathis offer judging services. Could be another problem solved. So I'm excited for what this can be. I'm excited for what 2025 is already shaping up to look like. And I think, honestly, if our members enjoyed being members of CRM this year, I think they're only going to enjoy next year that much more. I truly believe that.
Yeah, I think we got a solid group of guys that are members. I would like to see um, more participation. I know as the year goes on, school
Yeah.
lets out, guys got vacation, school, all kind of stuff, family obligations. But I would love to see uh, more participation, especially at Midsummer Madness, because I think a lot of guys missed out on that one.
It was a
That
good
was
time.
an event, yeah.
Yeah, a time was had. A time was had. But all right, y'all. Until next time. Water's still not too cold, so hopefully y'all are still fishing when you can and where you can. But we'll see y'all next week at 9 p.m.
Back at it again.
All right. Peace.
CRMKBF. We out.